This is the PUCKIPUPPY Electric Bike. My first touchpoint was simple. Big battery, big tires, full suspension, step-through frame. It promises comfort and range, and it looks like it can haul a lot. That combo pulled me in right away. On looks and feel, the step-through design is the headline. It's easy to swing a leg through, and the standover is low. The frame feels stout, not flexy, and the integrated battery gives it a clean profile. The 26 by 4.0 fat tires fill the frame and instantly telegraph plush. The suspension is full setup, adjustable front fork with lockout and a rear shock tucked in the middle. I like the leather-style saddle and the ergonomic grips. They match the cushy vibe. The cockpit is straightforward. Color LCD in the center, controls on the left, shifter and throttle on the right. Mine came with a Shimano 7-speed trigger shifter, which I prefer over the old over-the-bar style. Lights are integrated and the wiring is routed neatly. It's a big bike and it feels like one. At around 81 to 85 pounds, it's not something I want to carry upstairs, but once rolling, it doesn't feel clumsy. From my experience, the ride feel is the Boxer ST's personality. The cadence sensor delivers assistance as soon as the cranks start moving. For anyone new to e-bikes, a cadence sensor means the motor gives power when it senses pedaling, not based on how hard you push. That translates to low effort and relaxed cruising. Paired with the fat tires and full suspension, the sensation is almost like floating over broken pavement and gravel paths. The comfort comes through immediately, especially at moderate speeds. On the performance side, the hub motor is rated for 960 watt peak. The spec sheet mentions up to 90 Newton meters. But seat of the pants and my hill test put it closer to other 65 to 70 Newton meters hub bikes. On my steep test climb, throttle only was steady but not fast. In the highest pedal assist, it climbed at a pace I'd call average for this class. Better with some rider input than pure throttle. Speed-wise, the bike is set up as class 2-3. The throttle tops at about 20 miles per hour. Pedal assist can be unlocked into class 3 territory. In my rides, PAS 5 pushed just over 28 miles per hour on flat ground with a bit of effort, and I could creep past 30 miles per hour with a tailwind. If your local rules cap Class 3 at 28 miles per hour, keep that in mind and set the display accordingly. Acceleration strength can be adjusted in the settings, which is handy if you want softer starts. Range is where the big 48-volt 20-amp-hour battery earns attention. That's 960 watts, and it's the foundation for the brand's 40 to 80-mile claim. I'm about 200 pounds with gear. In PAS 3 on mixed city riding, I logged just over 40 miles before needing a charge. Rolling in PAS 1 along flat bike paths at casual speeds, I stretched well past 70 miles and could see 80 on a very chill day. If you lean heavy on throttle off-road, expect something like 30 to 50 miles. Charging is the catch. It ships with a 54-volt 2-amp-hour charger. In my opinion, 2 amp on a 20-amp-hour pack is not fast. From low battery to full, I repeatedly saw roughly 9.5 to 10.5 hours. It's an overnight situation, not a quick turnaround. Braking is strong, hydraulic discs with 180mm rotors. Stopping power is absolutely there, and modulation feels predictable. Under very hard braking, I did feel a little shudder from the rear end, which I chalk up to the entry-level rear shock getting outpaced by the brake force on a heavy frame. The fork worked fine for casual trail work, but felt a bit sticky over small, rapid bumps. I also had a minor creak develop that I addressed with a bolt check and some lube around the suspension hardware. Small stuff, but worth mentioning if you're picky about silence. Utility is solid. There's a 400-pound total payload rating, which is generous for bigger riders or real cargo. The Step-Thru helps with mounting when the bike is loaded. The included walk mode is useful for pushing the bike up a ramp or a short hill. The display is easy to read and gives you good data at a glance. Fit-wise, the single frame aims to cover a wide range. I found the rider position comfortable yet sporty. Upright enough for city rides. Low enough to keep weight on the front for cornering. One note, the rear shock lives in the middle of the Step-Thru valley, so the space is slightly crowded. It's still easier to get on and off than a high-top tube, but it's not as open as a pure Step-Thru without rear suspension. Key features that stood out to me are simple. The 960 watt-hour makes real range possible. The full suspension and 4-inch tires smooth out rough stuff, giving that floating feel street riders love. Hydraulic disc brakes match the weight and speed. The Shimano 7-speed with a trigger shifter is a nice update. The frame feels sturdy and confidence-inspiring, and the payload capacity gives it real practicality. The cadence sensor keeps things low effort, which is great on long commutes or when you just want to relax. And when it comes to accessories, my unit came with the accessory pack: rear rack, fenders, phone mount, lock, mirrors, inflator, bottle holder, cover, which rounds out daily use. If you're shopping during a promo, that bundle is a sweetener. If not, double-check what's included. There are trade-offs. The weight makes it cumbersome to lift or transport. The charger is slow for a battery this big. The motor's personality leans towards speed on flats rather than brute torque on steeps, so throttle-only hill climbs feel modest. The entry-level suspension brings comfort but not high-end damping. Push it hard and you'll feel its limits. None of these are deal-breakers for how I ride, but they're part of the package. In my opinion, this bike's identity is clear: comfort, range, and stability. It's perfect for riders who want a plush, low-effort ride, plan to charge overnight, and value a step-through frame with real carrying capacity. From my experience, it shines on city streets, bike paths, and light trails, cruising at 18 to 25 miles per hour with minimal fuss. I'd recommend this for commuters who don't want to arrive sweaty, bigger riders who need a high payload rating, and anyone who values a smooth ride over technical, high-speed control on rough terrain. If you're chasing nimble handling and top-tier suspension feel, you'll want to upgrade components or look elsewhere. If you want to feel like you're gliding and you love the idea of long rides without range anxiety, this checks those boxes. In conclusion, the PUCKIPUPPY Boxer ST delivers what it promises on comfort and battery capacity, with practical details that make everyday riding simple. It's a big, capable e-bike that favors smooth cruising over razor-sharp performance. Know the trade-offs, set your expectations for charging time, and you'll likely be very happy with the ride. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe and drop your questions or thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching.